shout out to Goji Center for this. And this is another video of breaking down the new Godzilla and Kong, the new Empire, Godzilla vs. Kong 2. And we're gonna get into this and see what he has to say about the whole thing, baby. Why should Godzilla be terrified of the new Kong villain? All right, don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and definitely go check out Goji.
Look at this new ape titan and reveal that this guy is not here to play any games.
I kept saying chimpanzee in the last video, and you guys thought I was crazy.
Than you think by the time you reach the end of this episode. To achieve that, we will cover three aspects of this titan, which might help us understand this guy even better. We'll cover experience, physical attributes, and mental abilities, and a special surprise segment in the end.
This guy's also saying that it's a orangutan.
For one, experience. Experience is a result of constant exposure to a certain force or repetitive situation that in turn helps you prepare better for the next noteworthy occurrence. This comes with time. Nothing gets a bunch of XP out of nowhere. Now, by looking at this kaiju's physique and taking a look at the vast array of skeletons in this clip, we can deduce that yes, this kaiju has lived a long time. And two, there might be something special about this guy. It's likely that this thing is a skilled predator. Or you can also use the word hunter. This word now completely sheds new light on this titan. For those of you who
can kind of see up here like a shine, and I'm gonna go ahead and say that's a bald spot like they're saying, so he's definitely, I'm just gonna go with that. I think he's old now.
Consider yourselves hunters, you are now going to like this thing a lot more.
I don't like that he's old though.
Successful predators or hunters all have one thing in common: knowledge. This takes form in many things, such as 1, being able to track prey by identifying game trails, scat, traces of blood, disrupted terrain, heightened senses of smell, etc. 2, knowing how to identify the weak points of said prey, such as the neck, heart, or lungs. And more importantly, number 3, being able to develop a vast array of hunting tools and weapons.
What are we watching?
But we'll go ahead and add a 4th one.
There we go.
A smart and experienced titan like this will most likely understand that spreading its bandwidth by using traps would be much more useful. Placing these carefully in strategic locations where titans would wander by, ensnaring or trapping them where he can comfortably come and kill the trapped kaiju.
This is way off, in my opinion.
Or potentially go a
Look at that world, first of all. That looks crazy, man. You've probably seen the first movie and you've seen all of this. Why is it blue?
Further and cap it off by taming his own smaller creatures to aid him during hunting. That or forming some sort of symbiosis between itself and said creatures. We've mentioned this word in the channel before. It's where two creatures of different species form a bond that is in most cases beneficial to both. The Monsterverse is no stranger to this concept, so we shouldn't be surprised if we see this again in this film. So now that we understand,
recently did a size comparison video, and Mothra is gigantic.
Experience is something that potentially made this guy a good hunter. Let's now cover some of its speculative physical abilities. In this video, we will entertain the idea that this animal can in fact be described as an avid hunter, and go as far as theorizing that this animal is very much fond of this activity.
God, it looks so cool.
Why would he continue to do this many times? We did discuss that this animal is deceivingly strong in a previous episode, but to recap, we mentioned that lanky ape builds don't necessarily mean weak physique. These fast twitch muscles allow this creature to inflict heavy impacts. But today, we'll delve further and talk about the insane amounts of reach this animal has, especially when we compare him to Kong. By looking at these arms, we can already tell that this creature will have an edge when it comes to delivering blows to many opponents.
Giant ape
Longer
titan
arms means you can reach the opponent.
He's probably gonna have his name. How we got King Kong, he's gonna have his name. What do you guys think the name would be? King Kong and Godzilla. Because like, if we wanted to keep it normal, we would call Godzilla Giant Lizard and Big Silverback. But we got King Kong, we got Mecha Godzilla, which is kind of plain, and then we got Godzilla, and this thing is gonna be called, it can't just be called orangutan or something. Nah, that's lame. He's calling it Giant Ape Titan. Don't want to call it the wrong thing, but it's gotta have a name. Somebody should go back. Is there like comics or whatever?
Delivering blows to many opponents. Longer arms means you can reach the opponent before he hits you.
Call him Bing Bong.
But Orangutan here can take this even further.
That's what they're calling him. That's whack though.
Let us remind you that this guy is most likely capable of crafting its own hunting weapons. And a weapon frequently used by hunters that excels in both close and long-range combat are spears. Yeah, dude, even chimpanzees use these in real life. Spears can be used to keep the prey at bay, stab at a distance while keeping the wielder far away, and
spear.
can be thrown with pretty good accuracy. We discussed how this guy most likely has the knowledge of the weak spots of many kaiju, maybe including Kongs and Godzillas. Knowing exactly where to strike, not just with spears, but with other weapons.
Ooh, if he's a mixture, he could be a Rangazilla.
That might possess both crafted weapons and powers it may have within its own body. In a previous episode, we discussed that this new kaiju probably has attributes that are not found in this Kong, because this guy's eyes glow blue, suggesting that Hollow Earth energy is also a factor here.
It's definitely a factor.
It's possible that over time, this creature learned to use this energy and voluntarily redirect it through its skeletal frame to any extremity, such as its fists and legs. Electric shocks have proven to, in some cases, immobilize a victim, which would be a very handy ability to have while hunting another kaiju. All these attributes are good to have, but in order to beat Godzilla and Kong in a 1v2 combat, we are going to need something more special. Mind games.
Huh?
That's right, no Titan can just pull up to Kong and Godzilla with a bunch of spears and Hollow Earth energy and expect to win. There's something that this animal probably has that can turn the balance of power. Apes have always been known to be incredibly smart, and some go as far as being able to effectively communicate with other species.
Apes have always been smart, but lizards have not.
We saw this happen in GVK when Kong was actually communicating with Gia. So, can this ape do the same thing or better? There have been some videos circling around claiming that Orangakong actually said something in the beginning of the trailer. Right now, we're still on the fence on this, given that it's kind of unrealistic to think that this Kong can actually speak English. But what we do know for certain is that this monster would have certainly learned to communicate with or even mimic other Titans, and especially with Kongs. That's right.
Look at it,
even
man.
if Orangakong is able to get some points across to Godzilla,
look, I wanted to go with chimpanzee, but you guys don't want me to do that.
On a
so
deep
now,
level, it would have been the first time he actually.
You know what I'm saying now? I'm saying this thing. I'm saying he was best friends with Godzilla's parents. Who the heck is Godzilla's parents? That would be. We need to go to like Godzilla's world. Why haven't we went to Godzilla's world? What's his world?
Of his own kind, or close to.
Water?
If this is true, then.
Yo, you know how we went to King Kong's world in last one? What if we went to Godzilla's, like underwater or something? There was Godzillas everywhere. But you know what? There's probably a deeper thing to that, and I'm really screwing things up.
We can safely assume that this guy will begin to play mind games with him. Having said this, we are potentially seeing the first case of trash talking in the Monsterverse. This can also go as far as this guy learning about Kong's emotional weaknesses.
Oh my gosh.
But what's his emotional weakness? Well, upon meeting him, this guy would most likely figure out that he has lived alone his entire life.
Big softy.
And has only a few things that he really cares about. Something like Gia, for example. You psychos watching this know where this is going. A crazy Titan like this, who enjoys the vile act of hunting and killing, will most definitely use this against Kong. In the next film, we must expect yet another tragedy, because the moment where this guy realizes that this girl holds a special place in Kong, he will do everything in his power to hurt this child. And in doing so, anger Kong so much that he'll probably be driven into making rash, uncalculated to anger Kong so much that he'll probably be—
Yo, Kong has a cavity. I'm just
driven into making rash, uncalculated decisions in combat, which is exactly what this guy would want.
If he fell on you, that's
this isn't the first time we have seen this dynamic play out. Back in Kong Skull Island, it was this skullcrawler, Ramarak, who literally tried to do the same thing. But what about Godzilla? Well, this guy isn't getting away from the—
Gosh, look at that.
But what about Godzilla?
I'm able to get some copyrighted, look at that. Oh my goodness.
Well, this guy isn't getting away from the mind games either. Now, we would like to imagine that pissing Godzilla off would not be a difficult task, given that in the previous film, Godzilla literally took this personally and proceeded to go
now that I'm thinking about it. I don't think Godzilla does.
If this thing is indeed the type of hunter we think it is,
he's a big lizard.
It's not too far-fetched to think this guy keeps trophies as well. probably even his fair share of Godzilla body parts. If this guy ever decides to pull up with bones of Godzilla's fallen ancestors, or worse, even wearing the skins of these fallen ancestors, this will become more than enough to inflict the desired raging effect on Godzilla. This scenario has become even more intense.
Jesus.
But is this really all this new kaiju's doing? Is this thing actually this malevolent to come up with all of this on its own? This blue glow also suggests that there might be something going on in the background. It's also possible that this ape titan is being controlled, or at least doing the will of another greater power. Whatever this power may be,
I think I already said this. What if he teams up with
another episode to discuss this theory.
Wow, man. Okay.
In depth. But for now, we'll move on to the last segment. How can this guy be defeated? Another reminder that literally all of this is speculative. Yeah, we know. It's all speculative. One is assuming that this creature is in fact controlled by another greater threat, which means that if this monster is ever to be liberated from this control, the greater threat has to also be defeated in conjunction. That's the boring answer. The fun answer is number 2. Both Godzilla and Kong somehow figure out that they can in fact be more powerful. More specifically, Kong.
I thought he was talking like you know how there's Monster 0 and stuff? I thought he was talking about like Monster 2, and I didn't know what that was when he said number 2. But imagine also, not Mecha Godzilla, screw that. King Ghidorah makes a freaking appearance. I cannot remember if he made an appearance in the actual movie. I don't think he did, but imagine they got in a fight with him.
It's not too far-fetched to believe that Kong can still harness the power of the Hollow Earth.
I don't think anything's powerful than Monster Zero, man.
After all, we do have a clue that hints at Kong also being able to transmit energy. If we go back to GVK in this clip, look closely.
Look how small Kong looks there. That is crazy.
We can find that this axe handle glows when Kong raises it, indicating that there was in fact some energy transmission between this kaiju and the axe. If Kong ever learns this, then we are looking at possibly having a more powerful iteration of Kong in the next MonsterVerse film. Perhaps even powerful enough to level the playing field with this giant ape
They gotta really think about these before they make the next movies.
By himself, allowing Godzilla to focus on any other threat that may appear later. Go check out a more—
Wow, this is cool. This is really cool. But I have my speculations. I really want it to be a chimp. Because chimps are like that. It's kind of, sort of. But what do you guys think about everything that was said in this video? And what I'm saying might be very wrong, because I'm just an idiot. So don't forget to drop a like, subscribe, and I'm gonna see you guys in the next video, baby.